Hello everyone, welcome back to Mac Music Review. In today's episode, we are going to rank the Passion Pit albums. Passion Pit is a band that has meant a lot to me since middle school. It was a band that I listened to all the time. Specifically, there was a playlist called Passion Pit and More on Amazon Music, and it was basically the best Passion Pit songs. I also listened to the Best of Passion Pit playlist on Amazon Music, but it would be Passion Pit and similar artists, similar like alt pop, alt electronic pop artists, people in that vein. And this is a band that is kind of sad that nobody talks about or nobody seems to care about anymore because they kind of, I mean, they haven't been in the public eye in a while since 2017 when they did a surprise album. Even then, that album didn't get a lot of traction at all. I'm talking about the album Tremendous Sea of Love, which will be on this ranked list. Let's just hop into the ranking and my rationale for why each album is ranked the way it is. You heard it right here, folks. Folks. The worst Passion Pit album, in my opinion, and it really is. Let me just tell you just how subjective this list is, because in my opinion, every Passion Pit album, there are four of them, every single Passion Pit album is a 4 out of 5 album. I wouldn't give anyone a 4.5 out of 5. I think they're all 4 out of 5s, including this one. I think it's a great album. I just think that because the lyrical content of this one is the least personal, it's more abstract and more on these different concepts and different ideas that don't have a lot of relevance, it feels like, to the lead singer. And all of this other music is so personal. Even his like upbeat like pop music is very personal. So having this album where the songs feel kind of disconnected from the artist, from the singer singing the songs and singing these words that he wrote, it just takes something away from the album for me. But it still has some amazing songs. The Reeling, To Kingdom Come, Swimming in the Flood. I love Swimming in the Flood. Moth's Wings, Sleepyhead. I mean, even though Sleepyhead's originally from the EP, I'm not going to rank the EP on this list. But this album is a great album, and it has some of the best Passion Pit songs on it. 2015's Kindred is a good album. In fact, I think it's a very good album and an underrated album because I think this is the one that people were kind of mixed on because, you know, it was basically Passion Pit going in the most pop direction. I mean, look at the song 1985 or Let's Go Until We Can't, in parentheses, Until We Can't. They're just so much follow this traditional song structure, and there's so much are in that lane of, you know, alternative pop with electronic type production. It does feel like they're most like approachable. It's their most accessible. From the song structure perspective, it only has 10 tracks. It's not a very long album, but it's one that I have come back to probably more than all of their other albums because it's so easy to listen to and it's legitimately super good. And the writing is actually very good. It's very personal and it's extremely positive. He talks about love. He talks about his wife when they're now divorced. And we'll get into that with the next album. But he talks about love. He talks about his wife. He talks about his family. He talks about faith. It's a really overwhelmingly positive and encouraging record. That is a pop album with some really legitimate, honest writing, I feel like, and some very sincere writing. And I think it's a great album. Yeah. My number two, my second favorite is Tremendous Sea of Love. It's their most recent album. It was a surprise album that the lead singer, I'm horrible at pronouncing his name, so I'm not even going to try. He might have made it by himself. I might have heard that he did the whole thing by himself, but he released it on Twitter for the fans, and then it eventually was released on streaming platforms in 2017. And it's a very beautiful record. It's a very sad record. It came out of a bad place for him. The record came out of a bad place, and he said that he wanted to release it. It was like he had all like the first drafts of these songs. None of the songs feel like first drafts, but he wanted the fans to have this stuff and to feel what he was feeling basically in the moment, even if it doesn't fit the mainstream at all. I mean, there's a 4-minute long instrumental track. There's songs with long samples of audio recordings of people talking and other stuff like that. But it's not the most accessible album. I think it's a little bit more accessible than Manners though, because it's shorter than Manners, and it does have some pretty fun, upbeat songs. But I think this is a really special album and a really great album. And of course, the number one is Gossamer, and this is the fan favorite Passion Pit album. I believe, I mean, this is their most commercially successful. It has songs like Carried Away, Take a Walk, Constant Conversations. All their biggest songs are on this album. And I really do appreciate how it's a love album. And, that's an album for me that, an album all about a person, all about a love. It can be really kind of boring and lame, but he's willing to admit to some things on this album, and it just feels like it's coming from a very personal place, and a lot of times a very beautiful place. The song, I mean, and the production is beautiful. I was trying to remember one of the songs. The song that goes, "Let's get married, I'll buy a ring and consecrate this messy love." Which one is that? I don't remember the name of the song, but that's the hook. And I'm not doing it justice because it's so beautiful and epic in the song. And it's got some of their best songs. And Gossamer is a beautiful love alternative pop album, and a lot of it is pop music. A lot of it, like Carried Away and some of the other songs, really do feel like pop music, and so it is, it is kind of accessible. I'd say their second most accessible. I'm ranking these by accessibility, but this is their second most accessible. I think you should totally check it out. I think it's a really great album. It didn't make my top albums of 2015 because 2015 was an amazing year for music, and I think there were 10 albums that were better than this. But it is a really great album, and it is my favorite Passion Pit album. Yeah, I like Passion Pit a lot. These guys, I don't listen to them much anymore, but I have to say, I did my research for this video because partly because I know that I really like all of this music, and Passion Pit is real. I would still say they're one of my favorite bands, even though I really don't listen to them that much because they don't have one album that to me is like amazing that I always listen to over and over again. They just have four great albums. So like, I haven't, well, I did a lot my research when making this video to rank these albums, and I really did have a lot of fun listening to all these albums and really did enjoy it a lot. And I will definitely come back to these and listen to Passion Pit more after this, I feel like. But thanks for watching the video. How would you rank the albums? What's your favorite? What's your least favorite? What did I get wrong in this ranking? What I tragically, is Manners the best album and I just don't get it? Thanks for letting me know in the comments. Have a great rest of your day.